The elegant restaurant glowed with candlelight and crystal, the kind of place where Connor Blake felt distinctly out of place in his work jeans and simple gray shirt. At 33, he was a carpenter and contractor, more comfortable with lumber and tools than white tablecloths and wine lists. But his sister had been relentless, insisting he needed to get back into the dating world after 3 years of raising his daughter alone. So here he stood in the doorway of La Maison, holding his 5-year-old daughter Sophia's hand, feeling every bit the working-class single father in a world that catered to the wealthy elite. Sophia clutched her teddy bear and looked around with wide, curious eyes. "Why are we at a fancy restaurant, Daddy?" Sophia asked. "I thought you said we couldn't afford fancy places." "We're meeting someone," Connor explained, his stomach tight with nerves. "A friend of Aunt Rachel's. She wanted to have dinner. His babysitter had canceled at the last minute, and Connor had no one else to watch Sophia. He had called to reschedule the blind date, but the woman had insisted it was fine to bring his daughter. Connor had been skeptical but grateful, though now he was certain this was a terrible idea. The hostess led them through the restaurant, and Connor felt every eye turn to watch the carpenter in work clothes carrying a tool belt he had forgotten to remove. Walking with a little girl in a pink jacket through rooms where the average meal cost more than he made in a day? Then he saw her, and his world tilted on its axis. She sat alone at a table by the window, backlit by the chandelier's glow, her blonde hair styled in sophisticated waves, wearing a cream blazer that probably cost more than Connor's truck payment. She was looking at her phone, elegant and composed, every inch the successful professional. But Connor would have recognized her anywhere, even after 15 years. Isabel Hart, his first love. The girl he had dated all through high school, the one he had been planning to marry before life had torn them apart. Connor stopped so suddenly that Sophia bumped into him. "Daddy, what's wrong?" "Nothing, sweetheart," Connor managed, his voice hoarse. "I just recognized someone." The hostess gestured to the table, and Isabel looked up. Connor watched the recognition dawn on her face, saw the shock, the confusion, and something else he could not quite identify. "Connor?" Isabel stood up slowly, her voice barely above a whisper. "Connor Blake?" "Hello, Isabel," Connor said, acutely aware of the contrast between them, her in her designer clothes and him in his work-worn jeans, her at a table in the city's most expensive restaurant and him with sawdust probably still in his hair. "I don't understand," Isabel said, looking from Connor to Sophia to the hostess. "Is this the blind date Rachel arranged?" "Apparently," Connor said. "I didn't know it was you. She just said I was meeting someone successful who might be a good match. I should have known that meant someone completely out of my league." "That's not what I meant," Isabel said quickly. "I'm just surprised." "I had no idea Rachel knew you. She's my sister," Connor said, though I'm starting to think this was a setup of a different kind. Sophia tugged on Connor's hand. "Daddy, who is this lady? Is she your friend?" Connor looked down at his daughter, then back at Isabel. "This is Miss Isabel. We knew each other a long time ago, and yes, she was my friend." "She was more than that," Isabel said quietly, her eyes never leaving Connor's face. "We were very close once." The hostess cleared her throat meaningfully, and Connor realized they were still standing awkwardly by the table. "I'm sorry," he said. "This is clearly a mistake. We should go." "Please don't," Isabel said, and there was something vulnerable in her voice that Connor had not expected. "Please stay. I'd like to talk to you, and I'd love to meet your daughter properly." Connor hesitated, every instinct telling him to leave before the contrast between their lives became even more painfully obvious. But Sophia was looking at Isabel with interest, and he could not quite bring himself to walk away from this woman he had once loved more than anything. "Okay," he said finally, "just for a little while." They sat down, and Connor helped Sophia into a chair, positioning her teddy bear beside her. Isabel watched this with a soft expression that made Connor's heart ache. "She's beautiful," Isabel said. "What's her name?" "Sophia," Connor replied. "She's 5. She's my whole world. And her mother?" Isabel asked carefully. "My wife died 3 years ago," Connor said. "Cancer. It was fast and brutal. and then I was alone with a 2-year-old and no idea how to be both mother and father. He saw tears spring to Isabel's eyes. Connor, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Why would you? Connor said, not unkindly. We haven't seen each other since we were 18. You left for college in New York, and I stayed here to work construction with my dad. We lost touch. I looked for you, Isabel admitted. Years later, I tried to find you on social media, but you weren't anywhere. I wanted to know if you were happy, if you ever thought about me. I'm not on social media, Connor said. I barely have time to answer text messages between work and taking care of Sophia. And yes, I thought about you. Probably more than I should have. A waiter appeared, and Connor felt his stomach drop when he saw the prices on the menu. He could not afford this, not even close. But before he could say anything, Isabel spoke up. This is on me, she said firmly. All of it. I insist. I can't let you do that, Connor protested. You can and you will, Isabel said. Please, Connor. Let me do this. Besides, I'm the one who asked you here, even if I didn't know it was you. She turned to Sophia with a warm smile. What do you like to eat, sweetheart? Chicken nuggets, Sophia said seriously. And French fries. And chocolate milk. I think we can arrange that, Isabel said, and Connor heard genuine affection in her voice, not condescension. Over dinner, they talked carefully, navigating 15 years of distance. Connor learned that Isabel had built a pharmaceutical company from the ground up, that she was now CEO of a corporation worth hundreds of millions, that she had everything success was supposed to bring except the one thing she wanted most, a family. I've spent 15 years building my career, Isabel said quietly, watching Sophia color on the kids' menu with crayons the waiter had brought. I told myself that was enough, that I didn't need marriage or children to be fulfilled. But lately, I've been wondering what I gave up to get here. You built something incredible, Connor said. You achieved everything you dreamed about when we were kids. I remember how ambitious you were, how determined. I'm not surprised you succeeded. And you? Isabel asked. Are you happy, Connor? Building things with your hands, raising your daughter? Is it enough? Connor looked at Sophia, who had fallen asleep against his shoulder, her teddy bear clutched tight. Some days are so hard I don't know how I'll make it through, he admitted. I work long hours to keep us afloat, and I'm always worried I'm failing her somehow. But when she hugs me and tells me I'm the best daddy in the world, I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. He met Isabel's eyes. I may not have built an empire, but I built a life. Maybe not the one I imagined when we were 18, but a good one, an honest one. I'm proud of that. Even if it doesn't look successful from the outside. It looks more successful than anything I've built, Isabel said, her voice thick with emotion. You have love and purpose and someone who needs you. I have money and titles and an empty penthouse. The evening grew late, and Connor carefully lifted Sophia, who had fallen fully asleep. I should get her home, he said. Thank you for dinner, Isabel. It was good to see you again, even if it was unexpected. Can I see you again? Isabel asked quickly. Both of you? I know we live in different worlds now, but I'd like to try to bridge that gap if you'll let me. Connor hesitated. He could see the longing in Isabel's eyes, the loneliness beneath her polished exterior. But he also saw the vast distance between their lives, the impossibility of making something work when she lived in penthouses and he struggled to make rent. I don't know if that's a good idea, he said carefully. You're a CEO worth millions. I'm a contractor who wears the same jeans to work that I wear on dates because I only own 2 pairs. What could we possibly have in common anymore? We have our past, Isabel said. We have the fact that I never stopped wondering about you. Never stopped wishing I had made different choices. We have the fact that seeing you tonight reminded me what actually matters in life. She stood up, moving closer. I'm not asking you to fit into my world, Connor. I'm asking if I can try to fit into yours. I'm asking if maybe we could both build something new. Something that doesn't have to fit either of our old definitions of success. Connor looked at this woman who had been his first love, who had achieved everything while he had built a life from scraps and determination. He thought about Sophia, who needed stability and love more than she needed a stepmother with a corporate empire. He thought about his own heart, which had never quite healed from losing Isabel all those years ago. Okay, he said finally. We can try, but I need you to understand something. Sophia comes first always. If you can't accept that, if you can't commit to being in her life consistently, then we should walk away now before anyone gets hurt. I understand, Isabel said. And Connor, I want to be in both your lives. Not because I'm looking for a charity project or trying to fill a void with someone else's family, but because seeing you tonight reminded me that I've spent 15 years running from the best thing that ever happened to me. Over the following months, Isabel became a regular presence in their lives. She showed up at Connor's construction sites with lunch, not caring about getting dirt on her expensive shoes. She learned to braid Sophia's hair and read bedtime stories with the same focus she brought to board meetings. She traded her penthouse for time in Connor's modest home, finding joy in the simplicity of their life together. Connor watched her transformation with amazement. This was not the ambitious girl who had left for New York all those years ago, nor was it the CEO who had sat alone at that restaurant table. This was someone new, someone who had finally figured out what she had been searching for. 8 months after their unexpected reunion, Connor proposed to Isabel not in a fancy restaurant but in his workshop, with sawdust in the air and Sophia as their witness. He offered her a ring he had made himself from reclaimed wood and a small diamond he had saved months to afford. It's not much, he said. I can't give you the kind of luxury you're used to. You're giving me everything I've been missing, Isabel said through happy tears. A family, a purpose, a life that means something beyond quarterly earnings. You're giving me a second chance at the happiness I walked away from. They were married in a small ceremony at the church where Connor's wife was buried, because Isabel insisted that Sophia's mother be honored, not erased. Sophia served as flower girl, proudly declaring that she now had 2 mommies, one in heaven and one who made really good pancakes. Isabel used her wealth to establish a foundation supporting single parents, particularly widowed fathers, helping them access childcare and education. Connor continued his contracting work but expanded to train young people in the trades, teaching them that success could be measured in craftsmanship and integrity. Sometimes the people we love return to us in unexpected ways. At blind dates we almost didn't attend, reminding us that wealth means nothing without love, and success is meaningless without someone to share it with. And sometimes the greatest blessing is realizing that what we lost was not gone forever, just waiting for the right moment to find its way home. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of second chance love, unexpected reunions, and discovering what truly matters. Comment below and share about a time when you reconnected with someone from your past, or when you discovered that success looks different than you imagined. Your story could be the hope someone else needs today.